Plaintiff Barry Day says he's known the defendant for over 20 years, and they dated on and off. Barry admits that he made a lot of mistakes because he's been a drug addict for over 20 years. But he's suing his ex today because he claims while he was serving time in jail, the defendant cashed one of his checks and spent the money on herself. Defendant Jean Hines admits that she dated Barry on and off and says in between his jail and rehab stints, she was always trying to help him get his life on track. Jean says the final straw came when Barry spent 8 months in jail for stealing money from her church, and she's countersuing for restitution and emotional distress.
Start with you.
All right, well, I know I've been knowing Miss Hines over 20 years. We dated off and on, things like that. She had been helpful me in my life, you know what I'm saying? I messed up quite a bit, but at any rate, when I went to LA, right, I'm a veteran and I received my benefits, and while I was out there, I was in and out of programs.
What type of programs?
Drug programs. And I was told by a gentleman out there that if I didn't stop this, they was gonna ask me to get a fiduciary or a payee. So when I came back from LA, that came about. They sent me some paperwork stating that. Well, at the time, we had gotten back together again, and I chose her.
Okay. And then she run off with the money or something because you're suing her.
Yeah.
For stolen money.
Yeah.
And she's suing you for stealing money, obviously, because she wants restitution.
Yes, sir.
So y'all stealing from each other.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
No.
Hey, give me some background.
The background is I have known Barry 22 years, and we did date off and on, and in between his jail visits and rehab visits, you know, I was there to help him, to, you know, try to show him a better way of life, but, you know, some people you just can't.
What type of drugs was he?
He was on crack.
How many years, sir?
Well, sir, I could, maybe 20, 30 years.
Go ahead.
So while we were living together, and you know, I paid most of the bills, and when he was working, he would help out, but then, you know, he'd borrow that back. So the final straw came in 2007 when I said, you know, this has to end. I am very involved in my church, and I was appointed church treasurer in January, and by March I had fell. He had stolen 4 checks from the church. That's what I'm countersuing for.
How did he obtain access to checks?
Being the church treasurer, I had the checks at home. So, and it had my name on it. So when I was balancing the church books for March, I found out, well, something's not coming out right. So I went to the bank and I had them to give me a copy of it, and found out that he had taken these checks, and I was like so embarrassed, so distraught. I just didn't know what to do, didn't know how to tell him. So when I approached him, when I did talk to him, I'm like, you know, how could you steal from God? I mean, you know, I just can't go on like this. You stole from God, even though the checks were in my possession. They were for me to pay the church bills, and my name was on the account. So I had him arrested. He spent 8 months in jail. Checks totaled $2,500.
When was this?
07.
Did you steal the checks from the church?
Yes, sir, I
support
did.
your habit?
Yes,
and have you recovered from drugs yet?
Off and on, yeah, you might say.
Off and on, you've recovered?
Yeah. That means no.
Right. Sounds like
I'm
no
just
to me.
keeping it real, you know what I'm saying?
All right, I got you. How off and on? Every week? Or every other day you sleep it off and go and get some more?
No. I was clean for a moment here, and I relapsed.
What's the moment?
About 4 months.
Okay. That's as long as you've been clean in the last 20, 30 years?
No, sir.
Tell me.
I would say about a year.
All right. And when was that?
Back in 2000.
Wow.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Yes.
When I did go to jail, right, I was still receiving my money from the VA. And Miss Hines, she knew that. And I had told her that if you're gonna keep on doing that, at least get the church some money out of my checks. So at first she told me she had. Then it came about that she never done anything. So I told her it was wrong for me to steal from the church. I know that, okay? And I gotta pay for that. But like I told her, what makes it right for you to steal my money and leave me in a $20,000 debt?
I didn't steal your money.
Tell me how she stole your money. It was because when you were in jail, she took your checks and cashed them and used them for herself?
Yes. And
one check. He got one check after he went to jail.
How much, ma'am?
$985. What he's talking about is something that happened years ago that VA can't figure out how much to pay him because he's been in and out of jail so much.
When did you use $985 of his money?
Okay, this case is about his check for June of 09, $985. Okay. I didn't steal it. From us living together, we had pooled our money together and switch swapped. Well, I came into a hard place in June, and I says, well, I'll just borrow it and just pay it back. Well, it didn't work out that way. I borrowed it, but then I lost my job, and he knew it. And I told his field agent, you know, I am willing, you know, to pay him back. Okay. I signed a promissory note of the receipts that I had given him for May, and
Excuse me.
What? You got a lot of nerve. This woman that did all this for you and then put up with all your dope fiend ways.
And I only owe him $1,000.
You've stolen from her church, embarrassed her, and you have nerve enough to come in here and sue her for money that she has agreed to repay you, and you refer to it as stealing. She didn't steal anything, otherwise she wouldn't have agreed to repay you. Theft is what you did. Taking something from somebody with no intent to repay. That's theft. So, she says you have a promissory note. Who has it?
I have it.
Let's see it. Tell me about your counterclaim.
Okay, the 26, the money that he stole from the church, and then from, you know, my distress and having to put up with him and his phone calls and, you know, telling
How are you entitled to the money he stole from the church?
To give to the court to repay. See, he has a restitution with the court, and on his court records, it says that he deprived me and the court of the money.
But did the court
restitution has to...
Because it's highly unusual. You haven't suffered a loss. The church suffered a loss.
Yeah.
What has the church said about this
They want their money.
Okay, and so why aren't they here suing him for it,
Well, I'm still part of the church.
I guess...
May I say something, sir?
You still there? They still let you come every Sunday?
Yeah. I've invested
Please
a lot
don't
in this.
tell me they allow you to be the treasurer.
Oh, no. I gave that up when I found out that he did that.
You didn't give it up. They fired you.
No, they didn't fire me. I gave it up.
With purpose to deprive the owner, Gene Hines and/or Hilltop. Yeah, well, the document indicates, sir, the charges that you deprived her and/or Hilltop, meaning that she and/or the church are entitled to it. And I suppose if you don't deliver the money to the church, then they'll sue you.
Right.
And you will have been known as a...
Whatever.
I'll leave it alone.
Bad judgment.
All right, I'm going to grant it to you. But this $3,685, you say the remaining balance is for $1,000 in emotional distress? Yeah, that was outrageous. Emotional distress, the burden you must meet is that it was outrageous conduct, extreme and outrageous conduct that causes an extreme amount of stress to someone. And certainly this is not common, so it is definitely extreme and outrageous. Things that are common occurrences are not quite extreme and outrageous because people do it all the time. I'm going to grant her emotional distress because I'm sure she has and still does suffer emotional distress and embarrassment and humiliation at that church every Sunday. I promise you, every Sunday. From the moment she walks in and sits in that pew to the moment she gets in her car and drives away. Every Sunday.
Whispering.
They whispering to each other about it.
There she go. She was with that dope fiend and he stole all the church money.
Sir, I'm going to grant her emotional distress as well. and the
Thank
restitution amount. And $3,685 is your judgment. However,
Yes.
I'm going to order you to pay his $1,000.
Okay.
And that's based on your own admission that you took his money, but you intended to repay. So at least you're honest enough to do that. So I believe you're honest enough that you're going to return that money, because I know you're tired of being talked about.
Yes, I am.
Every time you walk
Yes,
in
I
there,
am.
they look at your clothes, they look at your shoes.
Oh, I wear the same thing.
Anything. I know you do. Because you walk in there with something new, Doc. That's part of our money. That's a shame. All right, so you end up, ma'am, after taking that $1,000 back with $2,685. Have a good day.
Thank you.